Welcome back to the Tacomaholic channel, everybody. It is a beautiful spring day here in Northern Virginia, which brings to mind spring modding for your Tacoma. So go ahead and comment below letting me know the first thing you plan on installing on your truck in the beautiful weather, or if you've already done so and jumped the gun a little bit, let me know what it is. In today's video, my Tacoma gets some total chaos, spindle gussets, and a wheel bearing upgrade. Now, initially, I was just going to do the spindle gussets, but my buddy Randy said that during the install process, the old factory wheel bearings are coming off anyway, so it's a perfect time just to slap some new ones on. I wasn't having any issues with mine. They had 70,000 miles on them, which I know isn't a lot, but sort of a preventative maintenance thing just to do that, as you will see once we get to the install. So this isn't going to be like a tutorial how-to video, just like a general overview showing you the process. And after seeing the install in person, it looks like something I feel I could do myself, and you guys know I'm not the most mechanical person, but I have access to a Randy, and when someone has access to a Randy, you use the Randy.
Randy?
Now, I did already mention these spindle gussets are from Total Chaos. I'm not even sure if other companies make spindle gussets for the Tacomas, but they're not too bad. I can't remember the price. I want to say they're under $100. I will, of course, put a link for those in the description below. Do I wheel hard enough to actually need the spindle gussets to protect your spindles, which, if you didn't know, are sort of prone to bending if you wheel at faster or harder paces? Probably not, but since when has that stopped me from installing something on my truck?
Never.
And as far as the actual wheel bearings go, they are mostly KOYO parts with a bunch of OEM Toyota parts. I got them off eBay. I'll put a link for them down in the description below because the guy is still selling them. And for future use, because I know eBay links sort of die out over time, I'll put a keyword search you can type in. They were $296 for a pair. There are different versions for a 4x4 and 4x2, so keep that in mind. And when you buy two at the same time, I think you get like a $20 discount from this particular eBay seller, which of course is fantastic. And he is actually a Toyota Master Tech, so know that they are fully assembled wheel bearings, so you literally just take the old one off and put the new one on. There's no hassle, none of that, which I know probably a few people are a little skeptical about installing wheel bearings if you have to put them together yourself. None of that here, so that might jack up the price just a little bit, but in my opinion, well worth it because they're pretty easy to install. And they look fan-frickin-tastic.
somebody's welding these on themselves, you don't want to weld all the way to the end.
Okay.
Because it causes interference with your brake caliper. Like you won't be able to bolt your brake caliper up.
Huh.
So that's why I did that. Learned that the hard way like a month ago.
That's
when I
weird.
did this. And I had to grind it out. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it was like just enough to where you couldn't thread the bolt in straight. So if you just weld it almost to the end, but not quite,
Gotcha.
that leaves enough room for your brake caliper.
So it's like the first half of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just like the last it's like half an inch
Huh.
away from the end. Just a little bit. Anyways. So now I'm gonna hammer this seal in. I like using a block of wood just because the wood is soft and won't really deform it.
Right.
And then it also provides like
Even.
a nice even pressure to hammer the thing down. Just a couple good smacks.
Smack.
And then from there you can kind of see what part is still raised. A little more focus.
Yes.
So this is where if you were to keep your dust shield, you would sandwich the dust shield in between these two
Right.
things.
Okay.
But since we're not,
Okay.
we won't be doing that. And this can be tricky just to get
Started.
started.
You sort of finger thread them.
Because you're able to finger thread them all the way down, but it's tricky because like the weight of this thing just wants to sit on the bolt heads.
Yeah.
So I'm gotta kind of like
Moves
pick
them
it
off
up
just a little.
Yeah, pick it up to take the weight off of that. Now I can kind of get it.
Obviously, be careful not to cross thread.
Yeah, exactly. This should finger tighten all the way in. Like that. But it says, oh, timer. But I use that on my bed bars. It's really durable. Yeah. That's my session. That's my CDL. Oh, my God, primer thing. Under 17mm. It's got everything transferred over. ABS sensor, seal, the wire guard. Those are all snugged up.
Nice. Alright. Alright.
As I said, bolting this on beforehand, it's not really easier per se. It's preference. Some people would rather not bolt it on because it's less weight to wrestle up on there. It's preference.
Yeah.
So you don't really gain too much by bolting it on the workbench, but I just prefer to do it that way because I don't find this to be too much of a hassle. So now we're going to do the top one first because the top is hard to access.
Yeah. So
Once
they'll
you get it.
support the weight.
Yeah, because of the gusset. So now it'll support the weight, and then we can easily tighten this thing on and torque it down now while there's easy access. So because the upper ball joint is tapered, as you push it down into the spindle, that will also help keep it from spinning. So I'm pulling down on the upper control arm right now and pushing up on the spindle with my knee. And that is
sandwiched together.
Yeah, sandwiches it together. And it's not totally working, but it's letting me get it going enough.
Yeah.
And use the impact to suck it in.
Suck it in.
And you can see it right here. It just kind of squeezes together. And you can just be watching this thing spin and just not spin. And you can go by sound too. Suck it. Yeah, we'll be able to get this on for this side right here. And then I should be able to use a pry bar to push down on this. And it'll keep it from spinning. And crowbar to kind of go in between the coil and the upper to push it down just a little. And then that should provide pressure here to keep it from spinning. Should. Yep.
Nice.
And
before that was spinning freely.
And so since that upper thing is tapered by providing downward pressure, it's kind of shoving it into the spindle hole, and kind of that's what's causing it to, like, it's like a cone, like an upside down traffic cone. That's what I mean when I say tapered.
Yeah. Well, I know what tapered means.
I'm just making sure.
I went to college, Randy. I didn't do anything with a degree, but I did go.
So now that's up in there.
Good.
So right now, since I'm going to torque it, I'm going to put this back on
To hold it.
from spinning. And
Yeah.
I think I should still be able to get up in there.
Okay.
First, let's just see. There you go.
You didn't over tighten it, did you?
It gave a good spin.
Okay. Nice.
Make sure.
What's that? Okay. Oh,
No, you're good.
Thank you for looking. Yeah.
This is called a steering stop. So the steering stop bolts to the knuckle.
Okay.
I love texting.
Nice.
That's the right way.
Yeah.
I don't have those. So I just get them. I just kind of go by feel.
So for these, is it okay to do them like in order, or should you do like the star pattern, corner to corner?
I've
doesn't really
never
matter.
done that.
Yeah. Since they're not really being torqued. It's good and tight. Good and tight. The German spec, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go through a mental checklist real quick.
Right.
Torqued, tightened nice and snug.
And then putting the rotor back on.
So there, the rotor is just on there loosey-goosey.
Right.
And the caliper is what
Holds it on.
Holds it on nice and snug.
Putting lug nuts on the rotor or the hub just to keep it from moving out. I just put the caliper
Kind
on.
of hold the rotor in place enough. Just putting these on finger tight. That way it's not flopping around and it's going to fight.
One less moving part.
Yeah. And then it's torqued to 91.
91. Pound, foot, pound. I always get it backwards.
I don't know. Dude.
91.
I don't know what the right terminology is.
Flipping the wheel speed sensor in.
And then this little part right here clips in on the bracket. And so then all that's left, the brake line, little torque this, and then modify that brake line a little bit. We'll do this first. Okay. And I use a punch
To
in
hold the
rotor
rotor.
cooling vanes, and that butts up against that
Yep.
to hold it while I.
So it doesn't spin freely.
Yep.
Ah, it was right there.
The way that this is set up, they're all kind of offset.
Uh-huh.
So you put it on one way. Let's see, you put it on that way, and it doesn't line up with the holes. You just shift it, rotate it a little bit, and now it lines up with the holes.
So you start like that.
Yeah, so you torque it to 173, because you know how I was saying for the castle nut, you tighten it up a little bit until you get it lined up. Not with this one. You torque it to 173 and you don't touch it. The way that this is designed, it will always line up. So in one of these positions, we'll have an opening for the hole. But it's pretty cool how they designed it like that.
Oh yeah. What's that little piece called?
I have no idea.
A little blue piece.
No clue. That's asking a lot.
Yeah. That thingy. What time does he usually go to bed?
Like at night?
Yeah.
He goes to bed at 7. He sleeps for like 12 hours every night.
Nice.
So we have a pretty strict routine But we all like it because we all know what to expect, and it's just we like consistency.
That time
And
of
so
day.
he takes a nap from 12 to 2
So does my dad.
every day, and yeah, it's probably about that time soon. But yeah, every night he has dinner at like 6 o'clock, and then take a bath, and then he's in bed by like right at about 6:50, 7 o'clock. Then he usually wakes up. He wakes up at about 7 o'clock as well. It's 12 hours.
Nice.
He's rubbing the mallet.
So we're going to drill out the bolt hole on the, is that the brake line bracket?
Yeah.
On the brake line bracket, because it doesn't fit otherwise, just a little bit. Was that a 1/2 inch drill bit?
Yep. Drills
Half
out
inch.
to a 1/2 inch.
Okay.
So this little tab right here has to be bent straight.
Okay, the little hook tab?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So for that, I just use
Pliers.
Yeah, just one set of pliers to hold it. Doesn't really take that much effort. And the other one just to. I don't know how Chris Fix does this. He gets like the perfect shot.
It's a lot of setup and prep. I love his videos though.
They're so
I like
well
watch
made.
a video and be like, I'll never do this, but it's just fun to watch.
I watch him
the
anyways,
process.
just cause. Yeah,
Pick up
even if
tips
it's
and
something
tricks.
I think I already know how to do, and I usually learn something.
Yeah.
And now,
Hey guys!
Chris Fix here. That's pretty good.
It's funny when you watch his old videos because he wasn't all into it.
Yeah. I might be able to do this myself.
Drilling it?
Yeah, like holding it and drilling it. Stand up.
Just bolting on that last bracket for the brake lines.
It's a little tricky because that 1/2 inch hole is barely enough. So
Yeah.
you got to kind of get it started like this, and then just use tight. And as you tighten it down, the bracket will kind of like suck down into place.
Right. And that will just about do it for this video, everyone. Go ahead and comment below. Let me know if you plan on doing either one of these fun projects or if you have done them in the past. And I'm sort of curious about like what's the average mileage when people start to notice their wheel bearings. I didn't really notice a difference with the brand new ones, but again, like I said, it didn't seem like my old ones were going bad at 70,000 miles. The new ones might feel a little smoother, but maybe that's just me knowing I have new wheel bearings. It's sort of hard to tell with the good old butt dyno. As always, thank you so much for supporting the channel by watching this video. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video.